Watch this.
Yeah, how did that come about, that opportunity to play the Hulk?
I was training for the 1977 Mr. Olympia competition. This was after pumping iron. So 6 weeks before, I was in the best shape of my life. I received a phone call. They said we have an audition for the Hulk. So I go down for the screen test, right? They said there's other actors trying out for the part. And they says, okay, we're going to paint you green. I said, wait a minute. So I found a way. They gave me some compensation because I want to get painted green, but I knew the characters were green. At the time, they were shooting the pilot with another actor named Richard Kiel, who played George in James Bond. He didn't fit the part. He was big, but he didn't have the physique like me. I was hired on the spot, and the next day I was filming the pilot. The
No
next
acting
day,
experience.
never in my life. But what's interesting, I showed pantomime. That means uh, acting without speaking, show the emotions, the sensitivity.
Mhm.
So that can be
Yeah,
easy for me.
because that came out when I was 12 years old, and I thought it was the most amazing. Because Hulk was one of my favorite comic books.
Superheroes were so awesome back in the 70s and 80s because kids didn't have obviously video games and an insane amount of TV to watch, but they had comic books, so they'd read them and see all the superheroes. And then once the Hulk came out, who was like probably the first just massively jacked superhero on TV that everybody knew who he was, people must have been going insane. I mean, Lou Ferrigno, he's like 6'5", 6'6", competing against Arnold in the Olympia. And he wasn't like some guy who got last place in the Olympia. No, this guy was a stud, looked like a monster on stage. And here he is playing the Hulk in the 70s and 80s, which is just awesome. And he didn't have to talk either. He just, like he said, showed emotion, which is just epic, especially since he's deaf and he's still able to be a big time actor, is just awesome.